Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another Dark Park Film Reviews. And this is going to be part two of my Roger Corman film collection. And thank you if you watched the first film. I did read the comments, and thank you for leaving comments. I do appreciate it. Constructive criticism is always good. So I will take that and work with it the best I can. But to move a little faster on things, I got two stacks. One stack is pretty big. The other stack is about half its size. For the most part, all of these videos are either Shout Factory or Scream Factory. There are some random kind of niche company titles in here too, but for the most part, they're all going to be Shout Factory or Scream Factory. That's just kind of how I worked this video out. And I'm not going to go over the special features unless I think it's really necessary. This is going to take way too long. So there's a lot of movies here. And it's better just to look at the front, the back, the inside. If there's something interesting, I'll mention it, and then we'll move on. So, with that being said, the first one here, I forgot I had. This was in a stack of movies that I had not organized yet. And it's one of those like Concord New Horizon DVDs that I've been collecting, and that is Future Kick. So this is with Don the Dragon Wilson. And you can see it's got that new Concord logo down there. So this goes in that other stack from the last video. So I thought, oh, let me include it in this because I missed it last time. I went through everything, and I think I grabbed everything that I have is sitting right over there. But nothing interesting on this one. I don't know how many of these DVDs I'll pick up because there's a lot of them, and a lot of them I just don't have a total interest in. To be honest, let me move my phone here. There we go. And so there'll be more in the future. I'm sure. The next one is technically Roger Corman, but not 100% Roger Corman. So James Cameron worked a lot with Roger Corman in the early days. And even outside of Roger Corman, like he even worked on stuff like Escape from New York. And he worked on Battle Beyond the Stars. But the film that got him noticed was Galaxy of Terror. And he's the director. He was one of the assistant directors who basically shocked maggots on the fake arm and made them move. So he pulled out a car battery and hooked it up with wires and shocked the arm so the maggots would move on the arm because they weren't moving. There were people visiting the set, producers, and they were really impressed by that. So they said, hey, if this guy could shock an arm and make maggots move, he can direct the film. So he went over to Italy and made this, Piranha 2: The Spawning. So this is James Cameron's first film, and it is a sequel to Roger Corman's Piranha. This is also the film where James Cameron met Lance Hendrickson. And then after this is when they did The Terminator. It was while making this film that Cameron said he had the fever dream of the robot or cyborg, like with a knife, dragging itself on the floor and stuff and walking through fire because he wasn't feeling well. I think he just watched a few episodes of The Outer Limits, like The Soldier and The Demon with the Glass Hand, and said, hey, those would make good movies. But his version of it is a lot more interesting. I like this movie. A lot of people I don't think like it. There are two different versions of this film. There is the studio cut, and then there's the James Cameron cut. So he got fired from the movie. They had like a different director finish it. And then Cameron he snuck into the studio and basically re-edited the movie. So there's two different versions of this. I don't know which version this is. I think the Blu-ray, which we'll be looking at, might be his version. Well, this is the studio version, I think. But I do like this. There is it Terminator 2 where he's cutting a birthday cake, and it's funny, when he cuts it, he goes, I hope a flying piranha doesn't come out of it. Because in this movie, a woman cuts a cake and the piranha flies out of the cake. I like this film. It's kind of dull in some areas, but it's definitely worth watching if you're interested in Piranha, if you're interested in Roger Corman, if you're interested in James Cameron, Lance Hendrickson and things like that. There is a history behind it. So I would say check it out. And nothing on this. This is, the most disappointing thing on this is that it's presented in a full screen version, which has been reformatted to fit your TV screen. So it even says it right there. So the movie is cropped. It's not widescreen like it should be. That's the bad thing about this. But at the time, this was the only way of getting it. The next one is a sequel to one of my favorite Roger Corman movies. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but I did like it. A friend of mine, Eric, was a projectionist, and he got to run this movie, I guess for kind of like a little private screening. And I, of course, was all over him. Like, how was it? Tell me about it. Tell me, how was this movie? Because I love the first one so much. This one is The Terror Within 2. As Andrew Stevens, who was in the first film, he also directs this film. These are Alien ripoffs, set in a desert, just with a monster that's underground in like a lab. I like both these movies. It's part man, part beast, total nightmare. It also has R. Lee Remy in it, which is nice. Stella Stevens. It's just not as good as the original. Now, it's New Horizons here, but it's brought out by Code Red. For a long time, this was not available. You could not get it. And then it came out from Code Red. On-camera interview with R. Lee Remy, which is always good. So that's a good thing. But if you like the first Terror Within, you should check out part 2. It's still fun. It's just more of a kind of like a guy mutant than like a monster. It's more of I think it's a combination of like a creature and a guy. Where in the first one, it's like an all-out monster, and I like that better. But I still like both of those. Our next one is also from New Horizons, but it's Scorpion releasing. This, for a long time, was only available on VHS. And I did a little Pirate Bay where I found a whole bunch of movies that were not available yet because they were like burns, or they were downloads of the VHS. And that was the only way of getting it. So for a long time, same thing with Terror Within 2, I had these burns of these movies. And now I could throw those away because they're now available on DVD or Blu-ray. This one is one of those cases. So I saw this in the theater when it originally came out, and it has an actor in it who I just met, David Mendenhall. He also was in Over the Top. He played Sylvester Stallone's son. He does one of the voices in Transformers, the movie. And I was at my coworker's birthday party, and he was there. And so I took a few pictures with him. We talked for a while. Very nice guy. At some point, he did say that he would do a One Filmmaker where we could talk about his, basically like his career. He's a lawyer right now. but he did a whole lot of voiceover work. And so I mentioned to him that I own, Space Raiders, and that's him right there as a kid. So this has a bunch of footage from all the other Roger Corman space movies, Battle Beyond the Stars and things like that in it. I enjoyed this movie, and I do recommend it. If you can check it out, watch it. This one has so it's a brand new 16 by 19 HD master from the original IP. On camera interviews with David Mendenhall, Roger Corman, and production supervisor Clark Henderson. So this was 1983. I'm surprised this doesn't have more, but I'm guessing that New Horizons that's how they lease out some of these movies. So this must be kind of like a different thing from the regular, like, Conquer New Horizons. But this is fun if you like Star Wars ripoffs and the Roger Corman Star Wars ripoffs. This is fun, so I recommend it. This one, and I have to admit, it's a remake. I was scared. If you watch enough of my videos, I'm not woke. I like political incorrectness in movies. I think that wokeness is creating an atmosphere of negativity. I know what woke means, and I do support people, but I don't like when it interferes with movie making or music or art or anything like that. I think people should be able to express themselves and not get canceled and fired and never have to work again, maybe over something that they said 10 years ago. So I was a little scared of this, but I bought it. Once again, want to support it. And I actually enjoyed it. I was surprised. So this is the remake of Slumber Party Massacre. And it looks like, I believe it is directed by a woman, because there's been a woman on as the director on each Slumber Party Massacre film. They are considered to be feminist movies. I am totally fine with that. To me, this is where it works, because normally the women are smarter than the men. The men are the dummies. The killer uses phallic things to kill people with. There is the final girl. There is rarely ever a final guy, because the guys are too dumb and they always get killed. Or they try to help somebody else out and get killed. I did enjoy this, and I'm glad that it came with its slipcover. Unlike the most current Black Christmas, which I think is utter garbage, complete and utter garbage, this works. And that's because it's not made with pure hatred, where I think Black Christmas was. I love the original Black Christmas by Bob Clark. I really like the second one. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but now it's grown on me and I really like it. And I hate the third one with an utter passion. This, I think, worked. And I would like to see them continue making these, because I think these work with a message. So there is audio commentary with the director. There's an alternate ending. So it's got its slip. Yeah, this is Scream Factory. It could be on Tubi, because Tubi has a Scream Factory area that you can go into. So you might be able to watch it there. So that goes through. Yeah. This next one is a Blu-ray. It's the last film that Roger Corman directed way back when. I was so happy to get this, because for a long time you could only watch it on television. And that is Von Reich. I'm going to mispronounce this, so let me try to get this right. Von Reich. I had it. I was saying it earlier. It's hard for me to pronounce it like that. Let me see here. Von Richthofen and Brown. That font was confusing me, but the side was not. This is from Kino Lober. It's a niche company. And this I really enjoyed. It's got John Philip Law, Don Stroud. You can't go wrong with them. This is the Corman Company Presents. So it's a war film. And this was done in 1971. So by then, he was kind of done with directing and wanted to make his own company and produce. So that's where New World Pictures came in. His brother Gene is one of the producers on this. I have not seen this in a very long time. I remember that I enjoyed it, but I think I need to rewatch it. There is an interview with Corman. But right after this film is the next movie that he directed, and I talked about this on the last video, is Frankenstein Unbound. So he went from this, and then years and years and years later, he did this. The next ones are Blu-rays. They could be 4K. They could just be steelbooks. So let's take a look at what we have. So here we have Piranha, the original Piranha, 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray. This is a collector's edition. It says it's a 2-disc set. This is from Scream Factory. And the disc 1 is 4K, and the second disc is Blu-ray. So you could still pick this up and keep the 4K if you don't have a 4K TV. Like I don't have 4K right now, so I would just watch the Blu-ray. And it does have audio commentary with like Joe Dante, whole bunch of special features and stuff are here. Audio commentary on the 4K with Roger Corman. When they're 4K, I think it's cool. They come in a black box. So here you have Piranha Blu-ray, Piranha 4K Ultra HD. Got to be careful with these things. I don't want to tear anything. These are Steelbook. The first one here is the 40th anniversary edition of Rock and Roll High School, the Ramones movie. I am a huge Ramones fan. I was very lucky to see them in concert. I saw them with Richie and that was great. I absolutely loved it. So Richie was the drummer at the time. This is the limited edition steelbook packaging, limited quality, manufactured, collected while it lasts. And I always keep these. Togar sucks, but I keep these here because it talks about all the special features. And there's a bunch of audio commentaries on here. There's 4 audio commentaries with a whole bunch of people. So too much to get into to be honest. Oh, nothing behind it. We had talked about Slumber Party Massacre, the remake. This is Slumber Party Massacre, the original. Also steelbook. And it says, limited edition, steel packaging, limited quality manufactured, collect it while it lasts. Same as the last one. This does have there's a great documentary that's on the collection of all three Summer Party Massacre films, which we'll get to, called Sleepless Nights. This one has it too. There's also audio commentary with the director. They have no, I don't think the writer, but it's written and directed by women. I think I'm going to get this right. The director is a lesbian and the writer is a feminist. So that was a big deal with this movie. So, just taking the slasher films that would normally be made by men and turning it. The problem was a lot of critics said that they didn't do anything different than what men would do. I love this film. I saw it in the theater, San Francisco, I think, when it came out, with a bunch of other movies. There's Brink Stevens, who I've worked with. She's in Meat Massacre 4. And then, of course, they did that spin-off movie, Cheerleader Massacre, where she lives. This is my all-time favorite Alien ripoff. And I think Alien Covenant stole from this movie. I've talked with Jim Wynorski. I would love to get him on One Filmmaker one day. And I've told him, I think I love this film. I own the soundtrack. I listen to it all the time. I've seen this film probably like 5 times or more. I just love this movie. I used to own the poster, and that is Forbidden World. It's one of the first things that Jim Wynorski wrote. The director on this is Alan Holzman. The music is by Susan Justin. This has the theatrical cut, and it also has the director's cut, which Corman had them cut because it had a lot of humor in it. So they cut out all the humor, and what they released theatrically was more just a straight horror film, like a straight sci-fi horror movie. I do still prefer, I think, the theatrical version because that's just what I'm used to. But I love that the director's cut is on here. I believe it's taken from like a VHS tape. So it's not the best quality, but it's great to have it with this. I love this movie. I mean, I absolutely love Forbidden World. Next one we have here is Galaxy of Terror. That's that film that James Cameron worked on. It also has Robert Englund, and it has a whole bunch of people in this movie. This is another one of my favorites. I used to watch this all the time. This is one that I would put on while I was writing. So if I was writing a script or treatment, outline, whatever it might be, I would actually just have this playing in the background. And it's got its special features here. It's got audio commentary with the cast and crew. It's got some makings of a 6-part documentary, things like that. So if you haven't seen this, it's good. So what's funny is these are Alien ripoffs. This one is an Alien Jaws ripoff, I guess. Humanoids from the Deep. Love this movie. I love this film too. I really like this film. It doesn't have its little piece of paper back here. Oh, because it's inside. Because probably the sticky came off. But it should be like this. This is a film. I'm quickly looking at. So the director of this, Barbara Peters. One of the great things about Corman is that he always gave women the chance to direct or produce or write or act. But these are exploitative films. So Barbara Peters directed this film, but Corman didn't think it had enough like nudity and violence and stuff in it. I guess these. So he went back out and shot more footage, which she was not happy with. So I don't think she really ever talked about this movie after it's released, or after its release, and that pretty much ended that. I love this film. I think it's really good. I mean, the humanoids from the deep just look awesome. And they were done, according to this, yeah, Rob Bottin, who did RoboCop and The Thing. My last one for this stack, and this is the shorter stack, is not Roger Corman, but it's Roger Corman actor related. And so I thought I would throw it in. So David Carradine, I have this double feature of him in Future Force and Future Zone. These are David A. Pryor films. Has nothing to do with Corman, except that Roger Corman did work on a few films with David Carradine. So that's why I put it in. What's nice about this, Mill Creek? Yeah, it's Mill Creek. Each film is on its own disc. I love when they do that. And it does not list any special features. But these are fun. These are low budget sci-fi movies. And, you know, if you like Roger Corman, you probably like David Carradine. So I thought I would throw it in. All right. So give me a second here to fix this, because I got to bring one forward and put one back. So bring this one forward a little bit. I'm at my dining room table, which is not used for dining anymore because it has an endless stacks of movies. So this is the best way that I could do this with all these films. It's just, I just had to move the stacks. Okay. All right. So these are in some sort of order. These are all Shot Factory or Scream Factory. Yeah. This one I got at Dollar Tree and wasn't going to pick it up until I saw that it had Roger Corman's name on it. So it's a film called Abduction. And down here it does say, from executive producer Roger Corman. And I originally thought, from looking here, that it's, blanking on his name, the guy who played the werewolf in the Twilight movies. I thought it was him. Taylor Lautner. I thought it was him. But because it says from executive producer Roger Corman, I bought it. Plus it was like $1 or $1.25, so why not? And it was Shout, and I collect Shout Factory films. This one seems, I think it looks like it's kind of science fiction. It's not rated. Yeah, the clock is ticking for the human race. The pulse pounding, this pulse pounding thriller pits two strangers against a nefarious alien force with the future of mankind hanging in the balance. So it sounds like, looks action here, but then it's sci-fi on the back. Oh, special features, 2 versions of the film, including the extended director's cut. Okay. That's worth picking up. All right, so we saw this one on DVD. This is now, I believe, completely out of print, and it's quite expensive to get. And that is Piranha 2: The Spawning Blu-ray. So the ones that come in packages and they have these stickers on the package I pull them off and I just stick them onto the box because I like to keep them. And it's got a reversible cover on it. So Shout and Scream Factory like to do that. So that's the original poster. I used to have that up on my wall. And so it's a 2K scan of the original camera negative, new interviews with an actor and an effects artist in trailer. Yeah, I'm not sure which version this is. I think this is James Cameron's version. I could be mixing them. I could be getting that wrong. So I think the DVD is like the producer's cut, and the DVD and the Blu-ray is the director's cut. I think. I could be wrong, but it looks great. Yeah, and this is widescreen, where the other one was full screen. But I wish Cameron would have done audio commentary on this, or Lance Hendrickson or something. That would have been great. Even though he jokes about it, maybe he just wants to kind of move away from it. The next one is The Wasp Woman, which I believe was on the previous video, but in a collection called Attack of the Killer Bees. It says, a beautiful woman by day, a lusting queen wasp by night. It's got a whole bunch of bees inside. That would be the poster. This has a new 2K scan, extended TV cut with 10 extra minutes, audio commentary with a film historian, audio commentary with another film historian, theatrical trailer. So that's cool. So I don't know if this is only the extended cut, or maybe it has two different versions. The regular cut, which I do have on that collection, and then the extended cut. So no matter what, I got both versions. This one is a double feature, and it is from Scream Factory. So it's Wheels of Fire and Raiders of the Sun. That looks like a Mad Max ripoff. I think both of these are Mad Max ripoffs, or Road Warrior. I guess at the time they'd be Road Warrior ripoffs. One of my favorite ones, and I need to find it still, is Striker. It's just called Striker. I really like that one. I have a burn of it, I think. Yeah. Post Apocalypse Now. And this one actually has on it Roger Corman Presents. So that's Raiders of the Sun. But I think with, is it Ciro Santiago, who he directed both. Here he just puts in his initial H. So I think these are both Corman produced films. So two movies on one disc. Not seeing anything as far as special features go. This one is Munchies and Munchie. Munchie, it says Roger Corman Presents right there. And it has Andrew Stevens. Hey, Dom DeLuise as the voice of Munchie. And let's see. Yeah, Munchies is No, Munchie is directed by Jim Wynorski. These next two are like crazy lady type movies, and they're the kind of like Bonnie and Clyde type stuff. And so this is a double feature of Crazy Mary and The Lady in Red. So these are those kind of like Bonnie and Clyde type films. And Crazy Mama, it's got like audio commentary with Jonathan Demme, Silence of the Lambs, Philadelphia, and Roger Corman. And Lady in Red has audio commentary with Louis Teague, directed it. Wow. And Robert Forster. Also has audio commentary with Julie Corman and John Sayles. That is awesome. So it's got some good audio commentary on it. A lot of big people work for Corman. You know, Jonathan Demme, I think I mentioned him in the last video. John Sayles, who I just mentioned, who's one of my all-time favorite filmmakers. Then this one is also double feature. It is a big bad double feature, a Big Bad Mama and Big Bad Mama 2. And Big Bad Mama 2, directed by Jim Wynorski. Both of them have Angie Dickinson in them. For a little bit, he was doing like sequels or remakes to some of his films that were in the 70s or 80s. What does this have? Audio commentary with Steve Carver and the director of photography. Audio commentary with Angie Dickinson and Roger Corman. Big Bad Mama 2, audio commentary with Jim Wynorski, interviews with Roger Corman. Oh, Bruce Glover. Nice. Good stuff on there. Okay, so we talked about this one, one of these. So this is another double feature, science fiction, you know, dystopian future type of thing. Crime Zone and Future Kick. So I'm not going to, even though I already have Future Kick, I'm not getting rid of that DVD. I'm keeping it. And Crime Zone, yeah, has David Carradine. And Future Kick's Don the Dragon Wilson. Future Kick has an alternate cut of the film. That's cool. Crime Zone, I remember liking. I think I've seen Future Kick. I think. Ah, this is one of my favorite Blu-rays. I'm so happy this came out. It's a double feature of The Terror Within and The Terror Within 2. I'm still keeping my originals. I'm not going to get rid of those because they're from different companies. But this is a great disc. This is awesome. They put both of these films. It took a while, but they did it. My buddy Cliff Macmillan has his name on a lot of this stuff. He no longer works at Scream Factory, but I'd send him suggestions from time to time, or we talk from time to time about these movies. So I told him I was very happy with this one here. I do not see any special features listed. Yep, right there. Blu-ray producer, Cliff Macmillan. And then the last Blu-ray is, and this is out of print and expensive, is the Summer Party Massacre 2 and Summer Party Massacre 3 double feature on Blu-ray. I enjoy all the Slumber Party Massacre films. 2 is the crazy one with the guitar that's got the drill on it and it's got a bunch of music in it. I think I have a bootleg of the soundtrack to it to get those songs. I think you can find them on YouTube. So on this one, so Slumber Party Massacre 2, there's a 76-minute R-rated version, an extended 86-minute unrated version. Audio commentary with writer, director, producer Deborah Brock, and some other people. Sleepless Nights, which is where they talk about part 2. It's a 3-part documentary. So they talk about, obviously part 1 on part 1, part 2 on part 2, and part 3 on part 3. And then Slumber Party Massacre 3 has the original 75-minute R-rated version and the extended 87-minute unrated version. But it doesn't list Sleepless Nights. I wonder if they just didn't put it on here. I would think it should be here. Weird that they don't list it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting again. These are all DVDs. These are all a little bit older because the Blu-rays came out afterwards. And some of these are repeats, but they're originally how they came out. So the first one here is Piranha, and it's got this kind of cool cover on it, like a 3D cover. And these are all from the Roger Corman's cult classics, I think. The original classic, all new packaging, reversible cover, presented in widescreen for the first time. And it's widescreen, audio commentary, making of, trailers, interviews. I mean, it's got a ton of stuff. Also, all of these have that New Horizons logo on it right there. So it's got to be for distribution. When I see these at like used places, I only see it like this. I don't see it with the slipcover anymore. Looks like it also comes with a booklet. So it's got I asked Cliff why they stopped making the booklets, and he just said that just people, it was just too hard. Just people just, it was fun at first, and then it like became work. So there's the original poster, or one of the original posters. That's, I think, actually the original poster. I mentioned in the other video that I love the Not of the Earth movies. So this one is the Jim Wynorski Not of This Earth. I originally had a poster of this, the actual theatrical poster. Everybody had signed it. Tracy Lords, Jim Wynorski, Roger Corman. I had fucking sold it. Such an idiot. This is Jim Wynorski. He did sign this for me. It said, to John Ward, wish you were, excuse me, wish you were here. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get some. It's that time of year in Vegas. Everything is dry. Okay. And this was the first film that Tracy Lords did after the whole porn scandal. I really like this film. I like all three. There's a little coming soon thing in here. A little note from Roger Corman back there. Next one is Death Race 2000. This is one of the films. This is directed by Paul Bartel. This was back in the 70s. And kind of like Forbidden World is Corman did not like all the humor in it. So he had them cut the humor out. Unfortunately, all that footage is gone. So we'll never get the original cut of the movie, like the original cut of the film. This too has one of the booklets in it. Sylvester Stallone is in this. David Carradine. Once again, I mean, there's just so many special features here, but it is widescreen, which is nice. There's audio commentary, makings of, I mean, tons of interviews. There's just too much to go through. Then Humanoids from the Deep. Now, the cool thing about this one, it's also got its own booklet. If you go out looking for these, make sure it's got like the booklet and inserts and stuff. So the film also came out under Monster. It is a different cut of the movie. And because Shot Factory is awesome, there's a new high definition transfer of the uncut international version. Never before seen deleted scenes. There's a making of, interviews, all that type of stuff. For the first time on home video, the complete uncut version of this cult classic. So, yeah, this is definitely worth picking up. I saw this movie in the theater when I was a kid, and the poster confused me because some of the characters that are on the poster for Battle Beyond the Stars are not in the movie. And as a kid, because this is, only about maybe a year or so after Star Wars came out, I didn't understand how Corman worked. This is also a film that James Cameron worked on. He designed a lot of the ships. But I saw stuff like this bug, this kind of like big bug guy, not in the movie. So it's a great poster. This is the 30th anniversary. It's very Star Wars. It's very Magnificent Seven. But it's also very fun. Like Space Raiders. This one, widescreen. Commentary, John Sayles, Roger Corman. Commentary by Gale Ann Hurd. This is where I believe James Cameron met Gale Ann Hurd. Interviews, trailers. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff on it. This is also one of my favorite kind of like Italian Star Wars ripoffs, and Corman distributed the film. And that is Star Crash with Caroline Munro. Gorgeous in this movie. I love this film. It's hilarious. It also has David Hasselhoff. It's got Joe Spinell, Christopher Plummer, Marjo Gortner. I mean, it's directed by Louis, I think it's Coates, who also did like Hercules 1, Hercules 2 with Lou Ferrigno, which I also loved. And this is a 2-disc set. So you got special features and then you got the movie. Here's another booklet. There's Caroline Monroe. There's just this awesome stop animation in it. Caroline Monroe also worked with Hammer. She was a Hammer girl. And then we have Galaxy of Terror. I also love how these all have the clear boxes on them too. So they could do the double, insert. So you just flip it around. So that's front, back. Yeah, there's the arm. So this is the arm that had the maggots on it that got electrocuted. And then it formed that big, giant magnet that ends up raping one of the crew members. Yeah, this was also called Mind Warp, an Infinity of Terror. Commentary with the cast and crew, a bunch of documentaries. I mean, just like I said, just way too much. Memories of co-production designer and future visionary filmmaker James Cameron from members of the cast and crew. So here we have Forbidden World. It also has its booklet. I love that they did this. I really wish they didn't stop, but I understand that it's time consuming and it costs money. So there's Dawn Dunlap, who's freaking God, she's gorgeous. There's the alien. I love that they kill the monster with cancer. At the doctor, June Chadwick from V, she's gorgeous too. But the doctor, it smokes all the time and he has cancer, and that's how they kill it. Is he's gonna die anyway. Oh my God, he's gonna die anyways, and they cut him open and pull out this giant basketball size of cancer, and they throw it in the monster's mouth, and that's how it dies. So theatrical version, so it's got the Forbidden World poster, but then you get Mutant, the director's cut. Mutant was what the film was originally going to come out as, and Wings Hauser came out with a movie, like a zombie film called Mutant. So they changed the title to Forbidden World. I like the title Forbidden World better, so I'm glad that they changed it. Now we have the Slumber Party Massacre Collection, the Ultimate Driller Killer Thrillers. So this has all three. When I worked with Brink Stevens, I asked her to sign it for me. So she signed it right on the Driller Killer's leg. It's got pictures and stuff all on the back. It's got a bunch of write-ups and stuff. All three films in one collection with new bonus features. Widescreen of Summer Party Massacre 1 and 2. Audio commentaries on each film. All 3-part documentaries, Sleepless Nights, revisiting the Slumber Party Massacres. and then it's got trailers, photos, and stuff like that. So the first film is directed by Amy Jones. The second one is Deborah Brock, and then the third one is Sally Matson. So, and I think, yeah, and each one is written by a woman because that was the idea. So part one is on its own disc, and then 2 and 3 are on its own disc. It also has its own book. Crystal Bernard, that's her name. She's the lead in part 2. She went on to that TV show Wings. These are good little booklets. Do once again, DVD producer Cliff Macmillan, my buddy. And then that. The next one is actually a triple feature. So it's Roger Corman's Cult Classics triple feature, action-packed collection. It's a 2-disc set with 3 movies. So you get Georgia Peaches, The Great Texas Dynamite Chase, and Smokey Bites the Dust. So I got this for like The Great Texas Dynamite Chase and Smokey Bites the Dust. So are they? So the Great Texas Dynamite Chase is on its own disc, and then Georgia Peaches and Smokey Bites the Dust is on its own disc. Oh, there's a there's a okay, so there's a little note down here. Excuse me. It says the version of Georgia Peaches in this set is the international theatrical version titled Follow That Car. We could not find acceptable materials of the television broadcast version. So they just have it under a different name. And it just says theatrical trailers for special editions. Yeah, Georgia Peach is not rated. The Great Texas Dynamite Chase is R, and Smokey Bites the Dust is PG. This is also another triple feature, Sci-Fi Classics. All of these are awesome, especially 2 of them. So you get on here, so it's 3 movies, 2 discs. Attack of the Crab Monsters, which is awesome. War of the Satellites, and Not of This Earth, which of course is awesome. So it's not, it's kind of, so bonus features. Oh, I guess maybe they're not listed on here. No. So it comes with this little kind of booklet thing here. So it lists bonus features here, like a salute to Roger Corman, audio commentaries on Attack of the Crab Monsters, Not of This Earth, and a Roger Corman trailer collection, including over 25 trailers produced and directed by Roger Corman. And it lists all of them right here, but I'm not going to go through all of them. And then in here are a bunch of other movies that you can purchase. Looks like a lot of them are from MGM. And this has like the posters. So it says War of the Satellites, bonus features, Attack the Crab Monsters, and Not of This Earth. I love Not of This Earth. We got another triple feature, 3 movies on 2 discs. That would be the Women in Cages collection. So we get the big bird cage, the big doll house, and Women in Cages. Let's see. So this is a smaller little insert that has the movies on it and then like notes of the films on the other side. So you get both. You get Big Doll House by itself, and then the Big Bird Cage and Women in Cages on another disc. There's Pam Grier. A long time ago, I did send a couple people that I knew at the time that worked for Roger Corman, and I was making some student films with Chris Decker, who's Fred Decker's younger brother. Fred Decker did stuff like RoboCop 3, Night of the Creeps, The Predator. He wrote House. You know, he's been out there for a long time. You know, like him and Shane Black kind of go back and forth. And I wanted Chris to be my star in a remake of Not of This Earth. So I asked if I could do it, and the answer was no, thank you, but no. It's a copyright thing. So special features on here, Big Doll House, you get stuff like audio commentary with the director, a bunch of interviews. Women in Cages, you get like a trailer. The Big Bird Cage, audio commentary with director Jack Hill, who also did some of my favorite films, the Ator movies. This is a quadology. So 4 movies. This is the Sword and Sorcery Collection, 2-disc set. So you get Deathstalker, Deathstalker 2, Barbarian Queen, and I think on that other stack, yeah, the one from last week, I have Barbarian Queen 2, and the Warrior and the Sorceress, which is David Carradine. I love Deathstalker. I am a huge Deathstalker fan. I'm especially with the first movie with the Pigmen. I am a big fan of Deathstalker 2. I like the direction that Jim Wynorski and the cast took it in. It does have its funny moments. And there's 4 of them, I think. Would have been nice if they all could have been released. So Deathstalker 1 and 2 are on its own disc, and then Barbarian Queen and the Warrior and the Sorceress are on its own. So you get this here, and over here. And looks like there's only special features on Deathstalker 1 and 2. So widescreen transfers, audio commentary from the director. This is the first film. You also get, John Carl Buechler, Richard Brooker, who was Jason in Friday the 13th Part 4. Deathstalker 2, also widescreen, of the director's approved cut of the movie. Audio commentary by Jim Wynorski. Okay. 4 Tales of Barbarians and Beauty. This is also 4 films. So this is Vampires, Mummies, and Monsters 2-disc special edition. We're getting there. We're getting there. So we got Lady Frankenstein, The Velvet Vampire, Time Walker, which I love, and Grotesque. I love Time Walker. It's a mummy movie, but he's an alien. We find, I mean, the poster kind of gives it away, which sucks, but that's what we find out, is that the mummy is actually an alien. But it's got some good gore in it, like 80s gore. So Velvet Vampire, Lady Frankenstein, and then on the other disc, Grotesque and Time Walker. You got your posters here. Yeah, there it is. The alien as the mummy is right there. I really like that poster too. Oh, what do we get? Okay, so there's 4 movies on here, but there's only special features for 3. So all of them are widescreen. Audio commentary on the Velvet Vampire. Lady Frankenstein has 2 versions of the film, theatrical cut and a longer international cut. And Time Walker has an interview, has a couple interviews. Nothing for Grotesque, for Tales of Terror. This is a good one. This is the only way that I could get these at the time. Now I'm so happy that this stuff is available on on Blu-ray, but I don't have this one on Blu-ray. I only have one of them. Excuse me. So this is a pardon me, I'm so sorry. So this is a double feature, The Terror Within and Dead Space. Now, Dead Space is a remake of Forbidden World, which of course is a ripoff on Alien. So, which is interesting. This does star Mark Singer, who is the Beastmaster, and I really like it. It's basically the same movie, just with different cast and a different looking alien, but it's the same film. And this has a, yeah. So let's go. And then, so 2 movies, 1 disc. So that's the creature from The Terror Within. Here's the creature from Dead Space, but the center thing blocks it here. So let's take it out. What does the monster look like? It's kind of cool looking. Let's make sure it doesn't get all messed up. All right, put our little thing back here. This next one is a good double feature. I love one of these movies on this. This is another film that I used to watch all the time, and I would just let it play in the background when I was like writing and stuff. Not a huge fan of the other movie. Maybe I need to rewatch it again. I don't know, but I've only seen it once, and I thought it was kind of dull. But it's another double feature of The Evil, which I love. I mean, Victor Bruno, who was in the original Batman TV series, is the devil. That is awesome. And Twice Dead. Read an interview with the director who said if it did well, they were going to do like, we got Twice Dead, then there was going to be like Thrice Dead, but I guess it just didn't do well enough. But the Evil is definitely worth picking up. I love this film. I mean, it also has, well, Twice Dead has Jill Whitlow, Todd Bridges. But The Evil has Andrew Prine, who I love. Is he pictured here? I don't think he's pictured on the back. He is one of my all-time favorite like horror actors. what is this? Is it a booklet or is it? It's got the credits, the movies to buy. So The Evil, Twice Dead. The Evil has a great scene with a power saw. That's all I'm going to say. Gotta remember, this is 80s, so it's nice and gory. This one is more or less the same as the Blu-ray, but it's the double feature of Big Bad Mama and Big Bad Mama 2. A lot of this stuff is out of print. If you got it, keep it. Don't get rid of it. This, I think, is the, it's got like a little note there from Roger Corman. It's got the credits and then movies to buy. Andy Dickinson. I remember, see if I can find her name. Big Bad Mama 2. Julie oh God, I can't pronounce her last name. Julie the Colch. God, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm sorry, but she was a Playboy playmate, and that was kind of a big deal. And then there was also Danielle Bryce Boyce. She was on Archie's Place, which was the spinoff to All in the Family. I remember that was a big deal because she gets topless in it. So a lot of us at a very young age rented the movie for that. Sorry, mess up all the names. This next one is a double feature, but it's a Ron Howard action pack. So 2 early films from Ron Howard. And the thing with this is, so Ron Howard, he didn't want to always be known as Opie or Richie Cunningham. And he wanted to be a director. So from a very young age, he would always look at how things were done, how the camera's set up, what the director's doing, what's the producer doing. He would always look at these type of things because he wanted to become a director. He wanted to be a filmmaker. And okay, the Roger Corman thing is inside here. So what Corman did was, he's like, look, if you star in Eat My Dust, I will let you direct Grand Theft Auto. That was the deal. And that is exactly what happened. So that's how he became a director. That's his first film, Grand Theft Auto. And Corman gave him that opportunity. And Ron Howard has not had a problem talking about that. I like when these directors or actors or producers or writers never forget where they came from. Some of them do. Some of them want to ignore it, push it away. I like when they, when they acknowledge it, because, I like these movies and so should they. So Eat My Dust, it's widescreen, new interview with Ron Howard. So interview with Leonard Maltin and Roger Corman, making of, interview with like the poster artist, then Grand Theft Auto, widescreen, audio commentary with Ron Howard and Roger Corman. That definitely shows that Ron Howard has no problem talking about his past. There's another audio commentary. There's interviews with like Joe Dante. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff on here. Another interview with Corman, Clint Howard. I mean, this is a good one. All right. We're rounding the bend. This is a great disc too. I've not found these on Blu-ray yet. So I think this might be the only way you could get it. They're probably out of print, which means they're expensive. This would be Death Sport and Battle Truck. I love both these films. So Death Sport, which has David Carradine, is an unofficial sequel to Death Race 2000. Battle Truck was also known as Warlords of the 21st Century. I saw it in the theater as Warlords of the 21st Century. But I like Battle Truck better, and the poster's better. I also like this poster too. If you've seen the remake with Jason Statham of Death Race, Battle Truck does make an appearance in the film, which is pretty cool. And it's a science fiction adventure of the near future. And what's great is in Death Race is at the very beginning, the prisoner who's playing Frankenstein, it's the voice is dubbed over by David Carradine. Unfortunately, I think it was done not too long before his death. So, but it was great that they got his voice as Frankenstein. And then when his character crashes and dies, they bring in Jason Statham. I would like to have both of these on Blu-ray. Maybe they are, and I just haven't found them. But I would like to have both. Yeah, there's Warlords of the 21st Century. And so on the back here, for Death Sport, it does say audio commentary. There's other stuff too. Battle Truck has audio commentary. But I think inside, yeah, in here, Death Sport has audio commentary with the co-director and the editor. And Battle Truck has audio commentary with the director. Maybe there just wasn't room. Man, this is our last one. Thank you so much for watching this. If you're still here to the end, this is our last one. And these are Jaws ripoffs. I'd actually like to have both of these on Blu-ray too. So it's another double feature, Up from the Depths, which scared me as a kid, and Demon of Paradise. So this is more of the kind of creature from the Black Lagoon type thing. And then this is more of the Jaws, but it's like a prehistoric creature. I think it's an earthquake, and it gets released. This one scared me because when I would go into, it's funny, as Jaws didn't scare me as much as this did. I don't know why. But I remember going to Tahoe, Lake Tahoe, and they had the glass bottom boats that go out into the lake because the water is very clear. You can see straight down to the bottom. And even though it's a freshwater lake, and this movie takes place in salt water outside of Hawaii, I was scared that something was going to just swim up and just ram the boat and sink us and kill us. I don't know why. I got it from this movie, but I didn't get it from Jaws. Blood Beach even scared me when that came in. That was like 1980. Thought if I walked on the beach, I'd be sucked down into the sand. Oh, this one's kind of cool. So it's got the audience right there, and then the Demon of Paradise is swimming right there, like on a big movie screen. And so the special features on this, widescreen and widescreen. It's like trailers, TV spots, but yeah, widescreen for both. No audio commentary or anything. Off of the Depths does have Tom Bottoms for like Apocalypse Now. So yeah, so that's it. That is it. That's everything, man. I'm not going to recap just like last time because there's just way too many. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. I know it's a lot to go through. I know it's a lot to sit through and listen to me kind of ramble on and on. Hopefully I did okay on this one, and uh, if a message is left, it's saying more positive stuff, even though I know the message on the last one that was left um, was critical, but also positive at the same time. So I thank you guys. But yeah, thank you. And there'll be another video out this week. It might finally be the Michael Bay one. Finally. I want to get that one done. So, or it's going to be something from like Zio Records or Goodwill, and then the following week I'll do the Michael Bay. I kind of like spacing them out with those Zio Records or Goodwill videos. But I don't know. I got the Michael Bay stuff. It's sitting right there. But I guess that's it. So thanks a lot. I really do appreciate this. And if you're a Roger Corman fan, please, support him and buy his movies, watch his movies. If you're brand new to Roger Corman, please do the same. Go on to Tubi, YouTube, other places where you can actually check out his stuff. And some of these directors that I've mentioned, people like Jim Wynorski, are, they're on Facebook. You can actually, talk to them on Facebook if you want. So hopefully I'm not being too, I don't know, forthright in saying that, that you could just talk to somebody who I personally don't know, even though I've had conversations with them. But yeah, I guess that's it. So thanks a lot. I really do appreciate this. And I will see you on the next video. All right, bye.